To my Christian sisters and brothers, now is a very good time for us to see how important it is, who call ourselves Christians and children of God, that we represent something. You see, right now, all of the stuff that's going on with crime and violence and evil and lying and cheating and division and all of these things that's going on, it is the duty of the responsibility of those who know God to make sure that that stuff never occur. You know, the decree is thou shalt not. Okay, so these things should not exist. And he's just not talking to individuals. He's talking about the systems of the world. These things should not, must not exist. And yet, we see that they are existing. That means your duty. You have failed your duty. We have failed our duty also. You see, you've heard me speak to you about my relationship with God. I don't come to save your soul. I make sure that you know that. My concern is that God loves your life as well. He gave it to you for you to live and made for preparations that you might live it the best that it could be lived, if that's your choice. And so my message has always been about that. Now, humanity has seen you not reflect that in your activities. You're going to church, you're paying your tithes, you're loving God, all of that. You never stood up for people like that. You never represented people like that. Either in Jesus' day, you didn't represent people like that. The closest we've ever come to it, as far as we can see, was during the 60s with Dr. Martin Luther King. We did come together under those basic principles. We might not have been real, but we came together under those ideals. And so what I'm basically saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, it's very necessary and very important that we take care of these kinds of things. Now, when I look at the American people and I see what is happening, especially in light of what is happening after the pandemic and Brother George Floyd, and we know all so well about what really went down. And I think about in 1988, 1988, there was a presidential election I engaged myself in. And another time against Bill Clinton, against Barack Obama. And every time I sought that office, I talked about God's plan for peace and prosperity and freedom and joy. I talked about it, ladies and gentlemen, clear as day. And you can bet your last money. I went to the members of the church. I went to the pastor's house. Now, this is the stuff they teach you. This is what I hear. And then I go and I say, this is what God has given me, the desire to take this message forward. And I need your support. I want you to know that I'm running. I'm going to seek this office. And I just want to let you know so you wouldn't get a chance, so you wouldn't miss out on it. So you get a chance to play a part in it. And not a single one of them joined in it. They would tell me stuff like, well, we're Republicans, or we're Democrats. Well, no, we just vote. We stick to, some of them wouldn't even let me leave material. And all I talked about was all the stuff they preach about. And in reality, it was just preaching about it. You, the people, never felt anything that they were preaching about. That's why you don't believe in God. That's why your faith in God is nothing but sugar water. Because those who were teaching you about God ain't got no faith. I would ask people today, and what do you think about the situations? And they would all be upset. They can all find all kinds of things. Well, let's join with the groups and do something. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. See, you are being taught by people who see the problem, but they ain't gonna do nothing about the problem. All they're gonna do is run their mouth and tell you that if you come to church and pay your tithes and offerings, these things wouldn't happen. They go to church. It hasn't stopped anything. Anyway, this is that group what you call good people that do nothing, that empowers all the evil on earth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just thought that I just wanted to mention that. I wanted to mention that you got to start living what you talk about. All of you folks in the churches, you got to start living what you're talking about. You can't just stop dancing. You can't just stop drinking. You just can't stop partying. Stay at home and go to church and read the book and think the world will get better. Think you're going to clean the grass out of the things. Standing there watching people suffer and die while you tell them to come over there because God loves them. Are you out of your mind? Stop playing with God. And I can say that because all around me is evidence that people are playing with God. So I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to say this to the Christian people. Stop talking. Stop reading that book. Talking about what David said. Talking about what John said. My book said. Doggone it. What are you saying? What is God saying through you? Show it. Shut up and show it. Show some love. Show you're not just a mouth and lip service. You know, you make it sound like all you do when you talk is try to make it sound like you smart, like you got some education, that you can dissect it this way and that way. Yeah, but the truth is made known by your actions. And when your evidence is none, you ought to go somewhere and listen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.